So we're happy
everybody for being here and for having me here. I just want to take a moment to personally address my benefactors directly. If they're here, wonderful, and if not, to give them that thanks through the ether. And so, yeah, it's with a great humility and enthusiasm that I'm actually able to accept multiple scholarships this semester. The Carol Adair Scholarship, like Keith said, the Anne Margaret Smith, the Elizabeth C. and Wallace Hall. So, you know, before I get into my deeper thoughts, I just want to take that moment to say thank you for believing in me, because that's a really powerful statement to me as a student, especially as a returning student. I don't look it, and I'm not going to date myself, but let's just say I'm older than most college kids. But on that note, I want to paint a picture for you that arriving to college is like showing up in a big city late at night on the first day of moving in, right? So you move from the boonies, from that one lonely country road, single strip mall, and a night sky that has stars spread out in every direction. And now you're surrounded by big buildings, you're crowded in, and the lights are blotting out all but the brightest of stars. And so college is a massive hub of resources and departments for students that they must navigate in order to successfully dwell there. And although there are good neighbors about, one inevitably finds oneself feeling some degree of loneliness, right? This new situation, and yet there exists a number of college hubs where these kind of angels of the system are there to help new students find their bearings. And a student only needs to embrace that search for those resources and not fear their loneliness. So in this way, I myself was introduced to College of Marin's resources through a period of trial and question and answer, right? So returning to college after a long hiatus, and not long enough that I didn't come back. I came back with a breath of life experience. And at the time, I was separated from my ex, 2 lovely kids, and I found myself in need of support in and understanding, really, in what I arrived into, in what I think is late in the probably the darkest night of my life. And so I struggled to get my bearings in order to succeed. And so let me backtrack for a moment and say this. A student, any student who has met with limited success in the economic sphere of their life, they often return to school with a kind of a weight on them. And this weight is neither tangible nor is it deniable. And that's a big thing, because I can almost look around a room full of students and tell which ones are suffering under the weight of the need to achieve in order to move on from their station in life. So it's almost all the more evident at College of Marin, because we as students dwell in a place that that has such an abundance of wealth around, and we know concretely that not all students here have what I'll call the luxury of benefit of that wealth. And so we suffer under a particular weight, and going to school is part of the process of pushing off that weight. So I came back to College of Marin and I had one focus. I was gonna do my best no matter what the grade was. And so I took on a large class load, and I found myself struggling with the demands of my classes versus the demands of making enough money to survive. And what I soon discovered was it was difficult. It was a difficult situation, even in the best of times, to continue to work as hard as I did at school and at work. And so obviously you can see where this goes is the question becomes, do I make enough money to survive sufficiently to do my best in school? Or do I do my best in school and taking some time away from work, do I struggle daily to survive, right? And it turns out, and I love this, it turns out that I do my best in both places, and I allow my communities to support me. Because at the end of spring semester 2018, that's when I was introduced to the wealth of scholarships at College of Marin. And I will tell you honestly, I might get a little emotional, but you never know how good your best is to others, or how doing your best is perceived by others, until someone, and whoever they may be, says to you with their dollars and with their time and with their care and with their effort, and they say to you, I believe in you, and here's something to keep you going. Like, here is something to light your path in this dark night, so that you no longer have to simply go from goalpost to goalpost, but you can forge your own path with ease. And so now again, I'm a father, and I'm working hard, and I'm trying to make sure that my kids know that they can live their dreams. So that's something I had to come to. And there's a lot of joy to be had just in that process alone. And yet there are very few feelings that I have had, like the feeling that complete strangers will see what I'm doing, that they'll read and they'll listen to my words, and based on that alone, decide to support me monetarily, right? And it's not always complete strangers. There are those scholarships from communities that I've been involved in, the Emoja community, which I've been a part of as both a student and a leader. And as Keith said, the EOPS program, who has a book grant that every semester helps us low-income students get our supplies and provides us a safety net from the very first day of classes. And I am in awe and in appreciation of every single donor who has contributed to make my journey and any student's journey easier than when they came in, smoother. That level of interconnectivity that is demonstrated by this college community is what has allowed me to dwell in this environment and this experience successfully. So I want to say thank you, even knowing that thank you is not enough. And I look forward to continuing to build my community and my academic journey so that when I reach the point that I can give back in a huge, significant way, that the way people have given to me, that I will have a community to turn around and deliver that support to light another person's path. So I appreciate you.